back, and you know that sentence got everybody in a chokehold right now. Rightfully so, you know. There's some mixed opinions. There's a lot of questions. The community's gonna sound off, and I ain't gonna be the one to stand in your way. You know, I'm Jay Lava. I scour the internet so that you don't have to. So y'all kick back, and we gonna learn and figure out what the community's saying right now. We just want to know.
This video is for my black people and my black people only. Okay, so apparently the verdict is Karmelo Anthony is guilty. I want to tell you why these crackers are so invested with Karmelo Anthony being guilty. Do y'all see online? It's not about Austin Metcalf. They could give a fuck about him. They don't care about Austin Metcalf. Because I remember when they had that rally for Austin Metcalf, I think they had more cops out there than people. It was only like 15 people out there. And half of them weren't even there for Austin Metcalf. These people are cowards. They cannot attack you straight up. They cannot challenge you head on. They need police backing them. They need the government backing them. They need you to subconsciously feel like, hey, no matter if somebody assault me, attack me, intimidate me, whatever they do, I don't have the right to defend myself. These crackers need you subconsciously thinking that. And this verdict was gonna rest on that. Because think about this. If black people could see on national television that if a white person coming up to you, intimidating you, trying to harm you, and you defend yourself and you get off, oh my God, boy, they couldn't do that, because boy, that would turn all these bold white people out here, all these bold crackers out here, that shit would change overnight. So they need to always have that right reserved to be able to attack you without you being able to defend yourself. The moment black people start defending themselves, oh man, the United States is gonna go upside down. Don't think just because Karmelo Anthony is guilty that you motherfuckers could just be intimidating and antagonizing people and nobody gonna do nothing, okay? You're not as safe as you think you are, because I'm gonna tell you something. If one of you racist ass crackers come to me with that bullshit, it's gonna be another Karmelo Anthony case. But this time, it ain't gonna be Karmelo Anthony. It's gonna be me.
Straight like that. Straight like that. Hey man, there's mixed sentiments, and some people know what this about. No, some people don't know what they about. What's up, Jasmine? What's going down? Where you tapping in from, boo-boo? We up in here letting the community sound off. You dig what I'm saying? Hold on, let me get the chat up so that y'all can say y'all piece in the comments section. But my man say it's a tale of two Americas here. Let him go ahead and break it down for you.
Be found guilty of murder for taking the life of Austin Metcalf right after watching Rick Chow be found innocent for taking the life of Cyrus Carmack Belton makes it feel like everybody in this country gets to protect themselves except black people. Watching black people be shot in the back, children, a 14-year-old shot in the back, and the person who took his life claims self-defense, while another teenager, a 17-year-old, surrounded and assaulted by other teens, defend himself, not be granted the same privilege of self-defense. And again, without getting too deep into the facts of the case, but Cyrus ran away from Rick Chow over 100 yards and was shot in the back when Rick Chow claimed that he saw a gun. There was no assault, there was no attack, but there was somehow this fear for your life because you claimed he had a weapon. Or Karmelo Anthony, even though he walked into that tent and he walked into that group of students, was shoved, insulted, and assaulted. And when he defended himself, he was not granted that same protection under the law. And I could throw in the details of the Chud the Builder case where, okay, perhaps you provoked the violence or you incited it, and then when somebody retaliated and attacked you, you don't get to claim self-defense. I can absolutely see that side of the case or the argument. But the problem is, it isn't this one incident. Time and time again, story after story, we see black people's lives taken, murdered, and their murderer be acquitted claiming self-defense because they feared for their life. But black people are never given the same access, rights, and privileges of the same fear. Black people aren't allowed to fear for their lives and retaliate and take someone else's. And I can go into the whole social psychological history of black people in America, where we are always seen as the threat, so we can't be threatened, where we are always seen as the danger and the fear, so we can't be in fear of danger. Except, of course, if it's from other black people. But I guess right now, in this moment, I'm just exhausted from that entire narrative. I'm exhausted for the hypocritical reality that is the existence of a black person in America, where everyone else gets to defend themselves from the idea of me, but I can't defend myself from real threats from other people. And if I'm being honest, there's a reality where everything I said exists for women too. And I'm just fucking tired.
I think he shares the sentiment of a lot of people. And then you say, okay, Jay, you got you black people, because you know they coming in the comment section in a minute. You're always whining, playing the victim. But not everybody, not everybody look at it that way. There's some people who see through the BS. I listen to this man, and Cuz really has something decent to say. Check him out.
I'm going to pretend you're asking this question in good faith.
The question is, why is it you believe he is innocent? This is me doubling down because I truly want to understand this. So he busts down. Like, why does he think that Karmelo Anthony is actually innocent?
And I'm just going to piss off a bunch of white people as it is, because y'all are melting down in the original video anyways. But Karmelo Anthony's innocence lies outside of the legal system, because the legal system, when it comes to black men, women, or children, or black people in the queer community, is inherently racist.
See, that's what I didn't agree with. They always just see, we ain't to what did you talking about, Trill? See, it's always the bullshit. I was with you real quick, fam. And then you try to slide that up in there, real quick. See, that makes somebody want to negate your whole message, because now it seems like you got interior motives, the Trojan horse motives. You see? Come on, man. I can't do that to my people, man. I got to call you out when I hear it, fam. You on some BS, brother. But anyway, I'm going to let him go ahead and rock it out. But notice, he slid it in there in the beginning, and this is what I hate what they do. They slide it in there in the beginning, then he ain't gonna mention nothing that the trans or queer community had to endure or what they're going through. He gonna talk all black. That's the problem.
Flawed. And there's a million examples to prove this, but most of the time y'all don't give a fuck because you don't humanize black people. If Austin and his brother ended up severely hurting Karmelo Anthony, y'all would have been like, well, what did Karmelo do to deserve it?
Right.
Like, that's how your brains operate, because you don't humanize black children. It doesn't matter to you that Austin and his brother were the aggressor objectively. It doesn't matter to you that Austin's dad is friends with the judge, which automatically creates a conflict of interest. Like, you all don't care about that shit at all. You see a black child, you automatically make them an adult in your mind, and you automatically assign aggression and violence towards black people as it is. We see it every fucking time here in America. Karmelo Anthony did not owe Austin Metcalf obedience.
Exactly.
He didn't have to listen to another child tell him to get out of their tent.
Right.
White people do not own black people. But there's this automatic assumption that what a white person says is the truth and that it should be followed. You see it with white cops all the time when they murder black men specifically, or black women, or black children. And y'all go to, well, they just should have complied. Didn't y'all
hold up? But didn't y'all see what I told y'all though? He didn't slide the trans. He didn't slide that in there because you said tripping because I said that. Yeah, because I'm sick of the slippery slide slopes though. Right, Renee is love. You feel what I'm talking about? The slippery slides. He's speaking the truth, but I just hate what the slippery slide he did in the beginning.
Just should have listened. They shouldn't have ran. And so when a black child like Karmelo Anthony knows this country is inherently racist and violent towards black people, and is dealing with these fucking twin brothers that are twice his size that become aggressive with him, he's allowed to defend himself. And again, it doesn't matter to all of you, in especially the white collective, that Karmelo Anthony, just by the fact that he is a black child, is already under threat of violence in America, aside from his interactions with Austin and his brother. Like, y'all don't take that into mind. You don't care. You think, like Royal Star talks about on this app, that equality is never happening in America. You think Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony have the same life experience? Because you think in your mind that they are experiencing equality. And they're not. Karmelo Anthony experiences racism and violence in America because, again, white people just assign automatically aggression and violence when it comes to black people. So it doesn't matter how this would have played out. You automatically would have assumed Karmelo Anthony is guilty, again, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of who got hurt. And it's wild to me because y'all will sit here in comments and videos in real life, and I already talked about this, but crack jokes about black people that get murdered by the cops all the time, that get shot by Ahmaud Arbery, that gets shot by white men when he's running in their neighborhood, and you'll defend the fucking Klan members that do that shit. You look at Sonia Massey. Y'all were out here defending the cop that shot her in the fucking face for no reason. You will find every reason in the fucking book to demonize and dehumanize black people. So again, Karmelo Anthony's innocence lies outside of the legal system that is already racist and stacked against black people. You have to be able to humanize black people to understand why I say he's innocent regardless of the outcome. And it doesn't matter because you see the video that you came from already went semi-viral, and you have white people losing their fucking mind
in my
throughout my comments. So because I'm able to see Karmelo Anthony as a human being, and I can understand the systemic violence that is aimed at him, I can understand it up here. I don't have that experience because I'm not a black person, like that life experience. And I can understand how his existence as a black child in America is already demonized and dehumanized.
I bet you
and
do,
he's
Brandon.
not experiencing equality. Him carrying out self-defense makes him innocent in my mind, regardless of what any white person fucking says. Especially when y'all put all your faith and belief in a fucked up justice system that constantly fucks over black men, women, and children, and black people in the queer community. So there's the answer. And I do not give a fuck if you don't agree with it. I'm going to pretend.
Yeah. You listen, like I said, we don't speak in absolutes. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's a scumbag piece of crap. You know, there is some decent people out here in this world that's able to see what it is. But as the sentiment goes on, I got a ton of videos. Y'all know how I do. But most people wasn't surprised. Tell them, Mom.
I knew that baby wasn't coming home. Come on now. There is no such thing as self-defense as it pertains to black people. They could literally come into your home and murder you in your sleep, and they would somehow rewrite the narrative that you attacked them, that you were wrong. Let's start at the beginning. If that video had shown what they want you to believe, that Karmelo Anthony was some aggressive murdering maniac, it would have been all over the news and all over social media. The arrest photos, where they made him about 2 to 3 shades darker, because you know, darker is scarier in the minds of white people. Him being a little bit lighter didn't evoke the fear that they needed it to evoke. The attempt to cover his neck to hide the bruises where he was attacked, yeah. Moving the case to McKinley, Texas, an all-white jury of his peers. This is Austin Metcalf's dad, the judge, and the DA. Those photos weren't leaked. You can find that one and many like it right on Jeff Metcalf's Facebook page. Which leads me to Karmelo Anthony's attorney. If you believe for a second he was not compromised, you are a fucking fool. Because he could have easily found those photos. That judge should have been recused. If you believe that Karmelo Anthony's attorney did his best, go back and rewatch. Rushing the trial to have it on a Saturday? Come on now. I knew he wasn't coming home. I've lived too long. I've seen too much. I know too much. A white man can rape a little boy for 3 years, get sentenced to 3 years and barely do a month in prison and not have to register as a sexual offender. Two-tiered justice system. But guess what? We're still not coming outside. I knew that.
If the black kid was a victim, I want the same outcome. Lots of people found not guilty for self-defense. Listen, y'all, hold on. Let me I scour the internet, right? So y'all want to draw these parallels, right? Well, I'm gonna put up this one video with this one handsome gentleman on there. And just listen to this breakdown here, little pumpernickel face. Since you got since y'all got all of this Anna, all this Mosity on your chest. Listen to this here. Since y'all making all of these false equivalency, make it make sense for me. Could y'all make this make sense?
In prison because he stabbed me. Karmelo Anthony gets 35 years in prison because he stabbed someone because he was assaulted and harassed. While Casey Anthony unalived her own child, she's still walking free.
Who?
We have the Rick Chow guy who unalived.
Hold up. So you can kill your own child and you can be walking around free right now?
Free. We have the Rick Chow guy who unalived a 14-year-old boy that was falsely accused of stealing and popped him while he was turning his back. He's still walking free. Daniel Penny took somebody else's life.
You talking about Daniel Coward Penny that ran on a delusional homeless dude that didn't touch nobody and choked him out from behind like a puss with the help of bystanders is still walking free? Him? What?
Because the man was screaming on a train over some words. You have this white boy, baseball player. This man walked free while raping girls. And this guy.
No, we ain't gonna skip past that. It says Oklahoma teen walks free, facing nearly 80 years behind bars for rape and assaulting 2 high school girls. And he outside? He outside. Okay, all right.
Raping girls. And this guy, a Trump supporter, who unalived his own daughter because she criticized Trump.
Father popped his daughter during an argument about Trump? What? Huh? Cuz still outside? He's still outside. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right.
And he has not been charged yet. And the white man ran over a black boy. You
talking about ran somebody over? Like as in a car? Death, murder, kill? Still outside.
And Karmelo Anthony is getting 35 plus years and more. All of these people that are free that did 100 times worse than Karmelo. While Karmelo did what he did because he was harassed and assaulted. Make that shit make sense. So
make it make sense, y'all over there in my comment sections there. I mean, I hear y'all talking, but we on to you though. If you can make it make sense, just make it make sense. Can you? I think it's time we learn something. I'm going to tell y'all what makes sense. What makes sense is what y'all practicing. Let me drop a little dub on you. Because those of us that know.
Oh.
We gonna those of us that know.
All white supremacy is just a white person talking to another white person and saying, look at that person over there. And the other white person takes a look and say, yes, I see that person over there. Say, does that person have color in his or her skin? Yes, that person has color in his or her skin. Well, now, we have an agreement that when we look at a person who has color in his or her skin,
Texas,
that person is eligible to be dominated and mistreated by the two of us. Is that agreed upon? And the other white person says, yes, agreed upon. Let's shake hands and let's proceed to go toward that person of color and proceed to dominate and mistreat that person of color. Why? Because we have decided to do so.
I'm white and I say so. That's all y'all in the yeah, I see. Yeah, damn right. And that make you feel good too, don't it? Make you feel good to hear the scumbaggy skullduggery shit y'all be on, huh? That made you get hard a little bit, huh? You're gonna have to take a bathroom break real quick and go diddle yourself, huh? Ain't you? You little piece of crap, yeah. I know you. I hear you. Everybody wasn't fool. Hey, check this out. Oh, I can't. Nope. I can't play this because it got that stupid music behind it. I tried to get the music off and everything for y'all because the message was just that dope. But I'm gonna have to skip him up. Sorry, homeboy, because he really had something to say. But the sentiment is out, man. Everybody feel like they feel. This is a brother that don't really understand what's going on, and I ain't gonna fault him. He got the right to feel how he feel. But you ain't finna tell me I can't defend myself. You dig what I'm saying?
As much as you think you're an American, there's no such thing as self-defense for a BLK man. It's not for you. The U.S. justice system doesn't serve your BLK ass justice. How many examples do you need? When you read your history books, how many BLK men were taken out because they was rising up for BLK people, or they end up losing their life behind the manipulation of laws that was created for white people by white people and to preserve their social economic status and their wealth? How many Trayvon Martin situations do you need? How many Cyrus Belton situations do you need? How many Karmelo Anthony situations do you need? Shut the fuck up and just accept it, nigga.
Nah, I ain't never. I know he's being facetious. I rebuke those type of. I rebuke that. I know he's being facetious. I know he's being sarcastic, but I rebuke that. My brother, I featured him on a video the other day, and he definitely has something intelligent to spit. He said intent has always played a factor if you deny that you're delusional. Here we go.
It is not illegal for you to defend yourself with deadly force in the United States. That's why the Karmelo Anthony case feels so fucking racist. Is because we know that if the roles were reversed,
he got that music. Damn, I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't catch that. I just heard it. I can't go. They they be ruining my my monetization. They copywriting with that little funny ass music in the back, so I can't do it. But I did have a little sentiment from the other side, because not everybody's blind. Everybody can see what's going on, despite the people that you might see in the comment section. They don't represent everybody. They don't.
Had a right to self-defense. Karmelo Anthony never actually had a right to self-defense. I mean, technically, he did. He's supposed to. But Black American men, women, and children in this country don't actually have that. They are not protected by the law in that way. They are not even protected by the law when they are innocent children just walking home with their snacks and a hoodie on, or they're playing with a toy at the park. Black Americans, despite what the law says, aren't actually given the opportunity to defend themselves. They aren't even given the opportunity to exist safely. So you can tell me that he had a fair trial, and I'm telling you, no, he fucking didn't. He didn't have a fair life. He doesn't have a fair existence. How the fuck could he have a fair trial in a justice system that is not only upholding anti-blackness and white supremacy, but was built to sustain those institutions? Police agencies appear to be much more likely to characterize a killing as self-defense or justifiable when the victim is a Black male. Overall, fewer than 2% of homicides by civilians are classified as justifiable, but in cases when a Black man was killed by a non-Hispanic white civilian over the last 3 decades, almost 17% were ruled justifiable. Examining data sets from the FBI, reporters found that police label killings of Black males by white people justifiable more than 8 times as often as others, and this racial disparity persists across cities, different ages, different weapons, and different relationships between killer and victim. In contrast, in cases where a black civilian killed a white person, just 0.8% were ruled justifiable. This adorable boy was murdered by police because he had a toy. A grand jury declined to even indict the two men responsible for his murder. The United States Department of Justice said that it did not condone the officers' actions, but there was not enough evidence to charge them with a crime. Tamir Rice being gone for doing nothing but being a fucking child wasn't enough evidence for them to charge them with a fucking crime. Rick Chow will walk free after chasing Cyrus Carmack Belton out of his store for allegedly stealing a bottle of water. He shot him in the back. He shot this boy, this baby boy. Do not tell me that Karmelo Anthony was given a fair fucking shot, not only in that trial, but at that school and in life. Don't fucking tell me that. I am heartbroken for all of the families involved. I'm heartbroken for a family mourning the loss of their son. I'm heartbroken for the family of Karmelo Anthony and for Karmelo Anthony himself. For all.
Now, hold on now. Hold on. I be listening when people talk. Notice how she tried to throw the Metcalfs in there first, after you just got all that done talking about Karmelo. Come on now. I'm just saying.
All of the reasons I just mentioned. This is a fucking disgrace. Nobody actually wins. Because every time we do this, every time white America, every time the white nationalist, white supremacist justice system and police and government do this, we lose more of our humanity.
Ah, shit. Ask me. If you ask me, and I told y'all got to go sign up for that other channel because we're going to talk about it. If you ask me, I got some theories about that. I got some theories. I got some theories about that. But everybody's drawing this particular parallel. I've seen it a couple times. But this one stood out to me and how he broke it down. I like what he had to say because I've seen this parallel drawn several times.
Man, look, I'm just saying there's always been a two-tier justice system for black and white people. White people, they get away with it, and that's just how it is. And it really confuses me, all right, when white people get on here talking about how Karmelo Anthony is this, that, and the third. This is a child, man. They just gave that boy 35 years, right? But let's go over here to Kyson Allison. Same state, okay? So there's no difference here besides the color of their skin.
Same state and a couple miles away. This ain't even that far away either. Let's just get that together too.
Same.
And I think it was in the same courtroom.
Same things. Okay? Kyson stabbed his classmates to death in the school bathroom like a serial killer, okay? He confessed to it. He's on video doing it. He ran from the scene. Seems like a criminal, okay? I could honestly see why they would give this man 35 years. No racist bullshit. That honestly sounds like some killer shit, okay? Karmelo Anthony, what do? Stabbed a classmate at a track meet during an altercation. His jury, what is it? Had 0 black jurors. 0. Damn. Convicted of murder. They gave that boy 35 years. 1 white, 1 black, same state. Only difference is a couple years apart. Okay, few years apart at most. So your arguments are invalid. When I put up evidence like this, this is what you call evidence. This is what you call comparison. Okay. Unless you can physically show me some proof that your argument is valid, then don't come over with no bullshit because we all know you're just a racist fuck who's happy who you think is a black man, which is a black boy, is in prison for 35 years of his fucking life. A straight A student, remember that. Remember, he's straight A student. Not Austin. Austin wasn't no straight A student. Bully. Rape allegations.
Suspended from school. Wasn't supposed to be there. Beat up their dad. We could go on and on. We could. We definitely could go on and on, right? But everybody wasn't here. Everybody saw the play before it happened. Everybody saw the play before it happened, didn't they, sis?
Let's be clear. Black eligible potential jurors were struck down by the prosecuting attorney. Some because of their occupations. A judge and a DA that's connected to Austin's father was not considered a conflict of interest, but potential jurors who happen to have educator in their occupation was, and they were thrown out. Child, this is Texas. Also, they maintain that this was a race-neutral situation, so diversity wasn't necessary. Y'all, and let's be clear, if you did not have smoke for George Zimmerman, if you did not have smoke for Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't want to hear it. You full of shit, I don't want to hear it. And I'm not saying there shouldn't have been justice for that family. The odds were stacked against this baby for a fair trial out the gate. Nothing could have changed that. Self-defense is always appropriate until it's a black body doing the defending. Let's be clear.
Is she ain't the only one that feel like that. It's the brothers too as well. Shout out to 97.9 and the DFW. They was chopping it up this morning as well on it too. And they had some very valid points.
A child that is out here bullying, that parents, if you got a child that is out here bullying, that's out here, you know, just picking on fights, you need to get them in check.
Yeah.
Because this is what I feel like this issue is about. I do feel like if it was the other way around, there'll be no question. I do feel like it's a race issue.
Absolutely.
I feel like if the black boy, if he was the one that got stabbed, they'll be easy. Oh yeah, you know, he was intimidating him. He was trying to start. He put his hand on him first. Mm-hmm. It would have been that conversation.
Well, look, we can even see how they're framing it. They're making this frame. They're framing it as if it's Karmelo and his one kid, where obviously the guy that said he saw the video and 4 kids surrounded him. They had to approach him from at least 5 bleachers below. They jumped him, according to this guy that saw the video. So they're not even painting it as giving us the full picture of everything that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do y'all think, man? A lot of people are talking about this case, man.
This man way bigger than this dude.
Way bigger.
Way bigger. What do you
The
expect?
brothers are bigger.
The brothers are bigger. That's right. My man say he got some questions though. Because nobody was surprised. I'm telling y'all that's for sure. Nobody was surprised. They did it so blatantly and so out front. Nobody was surprised.
It's sad because we've seen it time and time again, right? It's not surprising because we've seen it time and time again. But at what point, one, do people just stop playing in our face? Like, let's start there. All right, here's what I have to say about this. We're not surprised. I think just the heaviness, the sadness of the case, absolutely. The loss of any life, right? Like, it's a sad situation. Like, the family's grief, it hurts. It hurts. But how do I want to say this? White lives matter or all lives matter wasn't a thing until Black lives mattered. And then I think when you introduce the history, right? Like, at what point is Black fear validated? At what point is Black pain validated? Like, as a father to 2 boys, Black boys, what do you say? How is this a lesson for them? You can say the whole keep calm, be emotionally in tune, be respectful. You can say all of that, but there are examples of how that has still resulted in a loss of Black life. So it's almost like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But there has to be a lesson here. And what is the lesson as a father to teach? The appropriate lesson that allows them to go out, leave home, and come back safely. And everyone can have their opinions on like what should have happened, this, that, and the third. One, you weren't there. And 2, I don't think it's anyone's job to put a measurement on, at this level of fear, you should do this or you should do that. You can't dictate anybody's fear. I ran track. I've been in other teams' tents. I've been on other teams' buses. I can't imagine a situation where I would feel inclined to bring a knife, but I also have never felt that level of fear for I cannot say either way. You know what I mean? I'm not justifying what he did with that, but I can only imagine the fear is what I'm almost assuming he felt to even feel inclined to take a knife to attract me. It's sad because we've seen it time and time again, right? It's not surprising because we've seen it time and time again. But at what point, one, do people just stop playing in our face?
That's a good ass question. You know, one thing I want to say is before all this started, there was a damn point. There was a point to all of this, and I think this sister encapsulates that phenomenally.
You know what would have been fair? If Austin Metcalf would have minded his damn business. That would have been fair. If a white boy wouldn't have felt so comfortable trying to bully a black boy with his 6-something foot brother standing next to him, that would have been fair. The thing about y'all is y'all don't know how to mind y'all business. Y'all don't know how to stay away from us. Y'all don't know how to leave us alone. And when someone finally retaliates on y'all, y'all are shocked. Why? Because y'all feel like y'all always should have the upper hand. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Austin Metcalf would have been here if he would have just set his ass under that tent and minded his own business. You know what would have been fair?
I like that one because she sure broke that down. Y'all don't know how to mind your business. I appreciate you though. Thanks for running up that. Thanks for running that shit up over there. It was also so you put a black face on your profile picture to run around and say shit as if you're a black person. What's your name? Mr. Mateo Jones. That's what you do? That's dope.
I don't care. I'm going on the stand and I'm going to tell my story. Why I had the knife? Was I looking to unalive somebody? Or you know what I'm saying? Did I mean to do it? I feel like if he speak out, it'll show more sincerity, whether you get found guilty or not. I'm gonna tell my side though, because they tell you not to say nothing. But when you don't say nothing, it looks like you're even more guiltier. I will get on the stand. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna say, look, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to take this boy's life, but I was scared for mine. Like where people can see how sincere you are. Honest, if this was a mistake that
the reason why I put that up because everybody did have a question about the effectiveness of the council, and I actually found somebody who broke that part down very perfectly. Check this out.
I know yesterday was a real difficult day for everyone in America as we all stood and watched the verdict. But I'm going to say this. The true verdict has not been given yet. And whatever Karmelo is going through right now is a part of his lifelong journey. But if I was his parents, I would be firing his current attorney and I would have a whole new defense team and I would be filing emergency appeals. And on one of those grounds, it would be ineffective assistance of counsel because Karmelo Anthony's attorney, his actions fell way below the objective standard of reasonableness. And his attorney's errors, they were great and they were many. And it created prejudice for him. And with these errors, it gave a very massive different outcome. So prayers up for Karmelo. I know y'all may not agree. Let's talk about it this morning. I know yesterday was a real difficult day for everyone in America.
Now we hear people pointing out inconsistencies and that kind of thing in the case, which I totally agree with. I mean, just like your boy said, it doesn't matter who it comes from. Everybody can see that Karmelo should have been up on the stand. I think they took their money and played in their face and was probably in cahoots with the DA and all the rest of them people. Because he definitely, the picture I seen, he looked alt-right than a mug. With his little hair like that and all of that. But this sister right here, I love when the sisters come with this, you know what I'm saying, that's this warm, calming, motherly energy, you know what I'm saying, with some sense about some shit. And she's coming solution-based. I like it.
First, we have to get rid of the individualism within our community. We have to get back to the mentality that it takes a village and understand that we are truly the only village that we have for each other. We teach our kids to love and respect each other as sisters and brothers, regardless of the biological relation. And it's imperative that we teach our young boys that they are not each other's enemies. We teach them who the real enemy is. And then we start building a community that our children can thrive in. We build our own nation. We build our own army, aka the Black Panther Party. We treat each other with dignity and respect. And then for all the YNs who don't mind throwing their life away, teach them if you're going to do that, let that sacrifice be worth something. It's not going to be easy and it's not going to happen overnight, but if we collectively come together, we will definitely get somewhere. And really understand that one person isn't in charge. It's all of us collectively building something for the next generation.
I could appreciate that message, and I thought that it needed to be said. And it's not even only the young sisters that got something to say. The older ones got something to say too, right? She come in with the facts, and she just gonna tell you how it is. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so Karmelo Anthony got 35 years, and he will have to serve 17 and a half years of that before he's eligible for parole, because the jury, who had the option to use, that this was basically like in the moment of passion, they had the option to weigh that and their decision making, and then he would have been eligible for 2 to, I believe it was 15 or 17 years. And now they didn't obviously take that into consideration because they don't care.
Right.
And he got sentenced to 35 years. So I'm frustrated because I don't understand why his defense attorney only called his mother as the witness on his behalf, why other people weren't called as witnesses, family members, church members, co-workers. I'm just confused. And it's disheartening. My daughter is devastated. I mean, she's been crying for hours because as a young Black person, she's just literally like, this isn't fair. He was being bullied and he was defending himself. But as I've explained to her before, there is no fair justice in this country for Black people. So there's 2 different justice systems. There's a justice system for white folks and there's a justice system for Black folks. And some of the others get roped up into, depending on how it goes, the others get roped up into, a lot of times, the white system, depending on what minority group they are, or our system. But when it comes to Black kids, it's always going to be unfair. It is. It's just always going to be unfair. And it's heartbreaking when you get to a point you realize, like, it's 2026 and this country is going backwards. And while there's a constitution and there's laws, they don't apply to us. We don't benefit from those laws. The negative parts of the laws are used against us, but as far as like where people are saved by the laws, that don't apply to Black people. And it's time for us to understand that. And it's time for us to focus on and worry about ourselves. We need to worry about our group of people because only we can save ourselves. That's where it's at. The laws and the rules don't apply to us. And the sooner all of us realize that, the better off we'll be. We have to now focus on us. And if I see anybody giving a cookout invite to anything,
straight up,
I'm cussing your ass out.
Straight up, Auntie. Auntie told it like it was. Straight up, Auntie. Unc has something to say about it too. It's not only the young ones or the older women, it's the older men. Unc has something to say. Shout out to Arthur Myron J. Clifton. I feature his videos quite a bit. Tell him what you got to tell him, Unc.
He lost his life. He lost his life. Now the prosecution has said that he put his hands on him right before he then retaliated, defended himself, and this man lost his life. His weapon was legal. Because listen, in Texas, everything is legal. You can open carry everywhere, anywhere, and you have the right to defend yourself unless... But the jury found him guilty. The jury. See, because in the United States, it is the belief in the system that is white supremacy, that black people, we do not have a right to write the law, to interpret the law, to enforce the law, and to adjudicate the law. There's some of us out there in all the roles that those titles represent, but by and large, white people will look at this and go, this is fair. This is fair. You find, look, there's maybe Hispanic, a couple of Asians in there. We're all the black people. We're fair. We can be impartial. Where's the jury of his peers? They deliberated for less than 3 hours. They had the option of a lesser charge, manslaughter, but they didn't choose it. The jury will determine his sentence. Before that, they had the option not to find him guilty. And I just find it interesting on the CNN page where I got this, they have the story, right here. Then they have this story about the Asian guy shot the young black man in the young black teenager, right, in the back. He's not guilty. Then they have this story. Homicide convictions reversed for paramedics who injected ketamine into Elijah McClain. If you're white and watching this, what do you think black people think? I wrote this back in 2020. America doesn't deserve black people, and I still hold that to be true. I'll put it on my own website there. And I wrote this, and it's still true. We're fighting all these wars inside this country because this country, across all the disciplines, healthcare, medical, prison, justice, education, corporate, government, whatever, all those institutions are fighting wars against us all the time. Because we to them are the enemy within. I don't know what they're going to sentence him to. His only hope now is on appeal, and that's sad.
Yeah, it is, man. Sometimes the messages don't come out like you think they should. Sometimes people say it just like it is. I like sis because she busted down.
Karmelo Anthony trial was a setup. It was rigged. It was already a verdict. We already knew he was going to be guilty. Y'all didn't see the play? A blind man could see. We don't need damn Ray Charles to figure this shit out. Let's talk about it. 12 jurors. So you mean to tell me you got 12 jurors going against one black man? What the hell y'all think was going to happen? Let's talk about his friend Eddie Kane. Ain't that your friend? Switched on him. Turned on him. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the judge. Okay? Who got the initial rule in order, who really gonna deliver a verdict. He knew the boy family. Open and close case. It was a game. Uno fucking reverse. What y'all thought this was? And let's talk about it too. It's pissing me off. It's so much to go with this Karmelo Anthony case. And I guess black people had faith, but we always had faith. We always had hope. You know what I'm saying? But the hope it was against us. Karmelo Anthony trial was a setup. It was rigged. It was already a verdict. We already knew he was going to be guilty. Y'all didn't see the play? A blind man could see. We don't need damn Ray Charles to figure this shit out.
I like that part. I had to let that one roll again. Man, I'm talking about the discussion is coming from all around the board. Brothers and sisters alike, even coming together and speaking about it together.
The verdict came back in the Karmelo Anthony trial.
I ain't want to talk about it, but we gonna talk about it.
I mean, I mean, what can we say at this point? What can we say at this point? Rick Child get off. Karmelo get found
guilty. It was a lady I saw after the verdict, and she said, she was out there, and she said, what do y'all want us to do? If we try to protect ourselves, we wrong. If we don't protect ourselves, we wrong. You know, what do we do? like you just said, what do we do? It's crazy. There was not one black person on his jury. I don't know how it.
Well, see, this what I'm saying. Okay, the defense, to me, they dropped a lot of balls in this case.
Man,
yes,
everybody's saying the
That
same
was the
thing.
first one right there.
Everybody's saying the same.
You know, and I was reading over the process, how they do it, and this. It ain't no process. It ain't no process where you can tell me, in this case, not one black person is in the jury box. The verdict came back in the Karmelo Anthony trial.
Hey, look, brothers and sisters, I'm talking about y'all. I'm loving what I'm seeing, y'all. I'm talking about men and women coming together, talking it out, hashing it out, figuring it out. It's taking off.
Jury, they deliberated less than 3 hours and they came back with a guilty verdict. What does a deliberation that fast usually tell us?
Well, they pretty much had their minds made up. For me, I think that it came down to Karmelo Anthony not taking the stand, because this is a self-defense case. And a lot of times, just in my experience as being a lawyer, a lot of time the defendant needs to take the stand. It is their right not to. But jurors often want to hear from the defendant in his or her own words what happened. And there was a long delay yesterday, some 3 hours, and they thought that the defense was preparing Karmelo Anthony to take the stand, and he ended up not doing that. And they rested their case, which was surprising to me, because just following this, I'm not sure that they raised enough reasonable doubt about this being self-defense. I wasn't convinced. Like, I felt Karmelo needed to take the stand.
And to that point, the jury, though, they had 3 options, right? Not guilty, manslaughter was one of them, or murder. What does it mean that they skipped right past manslaughter?
I still feel like manslaughter fit more perfectly just off of what I've heard. And you have to take into account these were teenagers, 17 years old. Karmelo Anthony did not have a criminal record. It was a 3.8 GPA. I believe he was captain of the football team, track star. He was a good kid up until this point. So it seemed like it was more reckless. And because even his statements directly after the fact, this was a pocket knife, which it's being reported a 3-inch blade. I think the whole thing was 5 inches, and it was just one wound. He just reached out and stabbed one time. So it wasn't like he stabbed over and over and over and then fled. And even then, saying, is Austin going to be okay? To me, that doesn't sound like the words or the intent of somebody knowingly trying to kill somebody else, but it seemed to fit more the narrative of what potentially happened, where he might have been defending himself. Was it reckless? Yes. And it was with a knife, and it did end up causing Austin Metcalf to lose his life. But to me, it just didn't seem like that was the intention of Karmelo Anthony.
Hey, and for all of y'all,
jury,
and for all of y'all talking about the money in the case, I found this from Charleston White. Love him or hate him,
Black people,
and on top of this subject,
black people gave almost $700,000 to this family and played race. So guess what they did? They froze the money.
They always freeze the money. That's why I don't like them GoFundMe's.
They froze the money, and they only made it possible for the lawyers to get it. So guess who showed up? Black community activists with their civil rights lawyers on a murder case.
Right.
They had, this family needed criminal attorneys. They showed up with civil rights leaders and civil rights lawyers. Why? They planned for the big payday. So the white folk froze the money. Guess what these niggas did? They went and got 2 white boy lawyers to help them get the money. And then the white boy lawyers kept the money. The family never got the money.
Tale as old as time.
The family never got to touch the money.
That's like if you facing a murder charge, you don't go get a fucking random attorney. You get the baddest motherfucker that deals with capital murder cases, right?
I didn't even tell you. I hired the dad and my road manager last year. Because they...
Yeah, you did. I remember.
Yeah, oh, I did tell you. I was just
It didn't last,
I was just
remember?
getting him money, man. So, man, I was just getting him money. But he couldn't be on the road with me because they was threatening his family. So he had to go back home and protect his family. I bought his son a car.
Remember, I was like, he ain't gonna know what to do. And you was like, I want to make sure he eats. So we rolled with it. I think he came out to like maybe 1 or 2 dates.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He couldn't do it because he had to get back home.
Oh.
I knew you were hurt yesterday. I heard it in your voice. And I like to think I know you very well. And I've never heard you speechless. So yesterday, talking to me, you were speechless. And you just couldn't find the words, so I knew you were hurt.
I've been lying to that kid for a whole year straight, every day, sending him prayers, talking about how good God is. I've been lying like a motherfucker, like I really know God. I've been talking that fake talk to a kid, nigga, as if, man, so I can only imagine what's in his head. Black people.
Man, you understand what I'm talking about? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Everybody up on the play. I'm talking about it's everywhere. We got panels of brothers spitting knowledge.
But listen, Jimmy, how as a lawyer do this lawyer let no blacks be elected? They strike the blacks that are on there and get them. How does a lawyer let that happen?
Well, it's there's a case called Batson. I believe it's Batson versus Kentucky. It says that you can't eliminate all the black people off of a jury unless you're doing it for a non-racial reasons. See, a lot of times they will ask us questions that are loaded. So black person is on the jury or on the jury panel, the jury veneer. So let's say, for instance, we're trying to pick a jury of 12. We're picking from 18 people that are in the box, right? So the prosecutor will stand up and ask a question. Is there anybody who does not want to sit in judgment of another person for religious or moral reasons? That is dog whistle to the black church. Because guess what? We love everybody and we don't want to judge. So we raise our hand. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
I'm a Christian and I don't want to sit in judgment of no one. And they say, okay, you're off the jury.
Him.
You're off the jury.
Because
you can't sit in judgment.
He ain't lying.
Damn.
So then they go.
Go ahead.
They go to another question. This is the second question they ask you. Can you consider the full range of punishment? What you think they're asking you is this. Can you send somebody to prison for life? That's what they think. That's what black folks think they're asking. That's not what they're asking. Can you consider 10 to 40 to life for this particular crime? So what we do is then we judge the crime. Well, man, I can't send nobody to a life sentence for no weed. And you say that. And then they say, okay, well, you can't consider the full range of punishment. You don't qualify as a juror. So what they do is they sit there and pick you apart based on cultural and religious reasons to have non-racial reasons to get you off the jury. So now they get all the black folks off the jury. You jump up and say, hey, it's a Batson. And they say, no. This person said they can't do this. This person said they can't do this. This person said this. And they have a non-racial reason that is technically a racial reason because it's a cultural reason to get them off the jury. And so then you can come back and say, we didn't have any blacks because none of the blacks qualified.
But listen, Jimmy, how as a lawyer do...
Now that was deep. And on that note, your boy Charleston White, who is closely associated with the family, had this to say.
We already got the money set aside for appeals bond. Why? All white jury, the judge and the DA are buddies, along with the dad, best friends. That's been our trump card. We already knew that. God has spoken, and you cannot make me believe that as many gray-haired white women on that jury that's dealing with white guilt about going to heaven is not gonna have no compassion about a kid that's been straight A from the time he's ever read a book in school, has no history of violence, has saved children's lives by
This video didn't age well, did it?
risking his own life by jumping in to save somebody from drowning. This kid has no violence. Austin, on the other hand, is a violent brute with some sexual rape allegations hanging on his ass. That's why, man, they coerce them kids. But one thing about kids can't lie to professionals under pressure. When you was told, when you gave a statement in the beginning, you can't come back and amend it later and say, well, I meant. No, what you said that night is law. Back up right up. All them white people talking about what they gonna do, they ain't gonna do shit, nigga. They ain't gonna do shit. When Makai Johnson and Galvin Long killed them motherfucking white police officers, you white motherfuckers didn't do a goddamn thing. Not no guilty. If you think they're gonna find him guilty and they just put manslaughter on as a charge and it wasn't on there in the beginning, you don't know law, cracker. You like the dumb white boy that had the whip. He can't spell either, nigga.
This video didn't really age so well.
Yeah. We already got the money set aside for appeals bond. Why? All white jury, the judge and the DA are buddies.
Yep.
Along with the dad, best friends. That's been our trump card. We've been holding. We already knew that, but we wanted everything to play out how they had it. I can't wait till I walk. The family, we waiting on each other. Yeah. I've been riding with the family, nigga, since day one. I'm sorry, since day 5. White people mad because they poor. Nigga, I wouldn't give a damn about what happened. I got a show tomorrow. I'm getting rich out here off content creation. All you white people, you're still going to be fucking poor, struggling with gas prices. Say, big dog, hey, I went and got me a Miss Lily. I went and got me a white woman. Yeah, I went and got me a white woman. I'm finna treat her like she black today. So I'm giving her everything she wants. You want some weed? You want some chicken wings?
This nigga. I just wanted to hear the facts about the case. All that extra shit that he owed, I'm really not really for that. But obviously, you know, all these injustices have consequences, and y'all gonna keep poking the bear. But this brother had something very intelligent to say about the situation.
Anthony is found guilty. A jury hears the facts, hears the self-defense claim, and rejects it. Then, almost in the same breath, I watched the case of 14-year-old Cyrus Belton, a child, accused of stealing water, something prosecutors argue was never even proven to have happened. A child chased more than 130 yards away from a store. A child shot in the back, and somehow the argument of self-defense is accepted. What exactly are the rules? Because they never seem to be the same rules for everybody. When it's us, self-defense becomes suspicion. Fear becomes guilt. The benefit of the doubt disappears. This country keeps showing us what it is. How did the descendants of enslaved people receive nothing? The enslaved themselves received nothing. But governments found money to compensate slave owners. People were literally paid because they could no longer own other human beings. The last payment went out in 2015. 2015. Insanity. We can discuss compensation for January 6 defendants because Trump claims they were treated unfairly by the justice system. We can acknowledge their grievances. We can debate restitution. We can debate whether they deserve to be made whole. But bring up centuries of slavery, bring up segregation, bring up redlining, bring up stolen wealth, bring up discriminatory policing, bring up unequal sentencing, bring up communities intentionally kept behind, and suddenly America wants to change the subject. No repair, no urgency, no acknowledgement, just move on. So we're taught the rules. Make yourself smaller. Don't be intimidating. Don't be too confident. Don't be too loud. Don't look angry. Don't wear that. Don't stand there. Don't move too quickly. Spend your entire life managing other people's fears while nobody acknowledges your own. Work harder. Accept less. Smile through it. The expectation that we're supposed to quietly accept it, that we're supposed to inherit it, live through it, watch it repeat itself, and then pretend we don't see it. The saddest part isn't just what was done to us, but also how we're conditioned to believe this is just the way it is. The hand we were dealt, our rightful place. Nothing about that should ever feel normal. We are long overdue to demand a change.
I I agree. Totally 100%. And I ain't finna live like that. I'm not nobody. You think you think y'all finna go back to something else and y'all gonna have a rude awakening. You see what just happened to Austin. Sometimes jail, all right. You see what happened to your boy Austin. Keep on. Niggas stab people. Straight up.
Crying every day for my baby.
But you know what? Some of us is trying to take a different approach, maybe not so militant.
I am tired of crying every day for my baby. I'm going to continue to do that, but I'm tired of you all seeing the way I am, of me mourning for my son. I am very angry. So from here on, you're going to get angry Troy.
That's okay.
Angry Nicole.
That's okay.
Our sons.
Our
family.
son.
You all should be angry for a reason. I am tired of crying every day for my baby. I'm going to continue to do that, but I'm tired of you all seeing the way I am, of me mourning for my son. I am very angry. So from here on, you're going to get angry Troy.
That's okay.
Angry Nicole.
That's okay.
Our sons.
Our
family.
son.
You all should be angry for a reason. I am tired of crying every day for my baby.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? You know what? There is some psychology to what y'all doing in the comment section, though. I know y'all ain't going to hear this from nobody black, so I got one of your people to enlist to go ahead and break this down for you real quick. Now, listen now. You might learn something.
According to psychology, people that go silent when something offends or upsets them are experiencing a coping mechanism called...
But y'all ain't doing that. Y'all getting loud. So what kind of coping mechanism are y'all experiencing right now? Because y'all sure got everything to say. I keep my power tool with me all the time. Who that, NPC? Yeah, buddy. Keep my power tools all the way. Because you never know when you got to take the trash out. Or you never know when something needs to be blown away. Power tools. Whenever you got to put in work. You understand what I'm talking about? If you know, you know.
Flocka Trent checking in, beating that fucking road as I should, man. Bows in rotation. Every day, nigga. But say, Karmelo Anthony, man, hold your head, you feel me? Your sacrifice gonna force niggas to get in line. Now we gotta get in line. Now we have to stop the nonsense with each other, because we see what they'll take the best of us and send us through there. Nigga, they did it to me. Nigga, I was in college. Nigga, them folks ain't lay me down for a year. Thought I wasn't gonna hold my own that bitch. Came out like a fucking man. Nigga was in that bitch bumping and thumping, nigga. Whole college student. Made me take a felony to come home. Knowing I was in school. Thought I wasn't gonna get back and finish. I still finished. Them folks will do that to you, man. They'll take the best of our community and raw us out. Karmelo Anthony ain't do nothing wrong. Because I'm gonna say like this. Karmelo Anthony verdict, it ain't scaring nothing, nigga. I need y'all to get a preach to our kids that it ain't standing nothing, nigga. Any one of them folks come playing thinking they gonna play and get a pass because they skin color, show them what's out. Show them what's out every fucking time, nigga. I don't got no picks. I'ma raise mine to have no picks. You bring your kids around me, I'm gonna put the seed in them for them to have no picks, nigga.
What? I heard it.
And we gotta be in the most pussy ass celebrity time period ever. All these rich ass motherfuckers ain't saying nothing because they scared to lose some money. They scared to lose some sponsorship. They scared to make their white friends feel away. Their Asian friends feel away. Nigga, if you my friend, you feel me? You ain't rocking with the fucked up people in your community anyways.
Right.
We in a time with the most pussy, the most 100% pussy celebrities. None of these motherfuckers saying nothing. LeBron James, Beyonce, Tyler Perry, Kevin Hart. Ain't none of these niggas saying nothing about this case.
Love.
What's going on? Black honor roll student, nigga, no criminal record.
That's true.
You feel me?
What happened?
Charging with murder? Trying to do him something? Man, I don't know what you're going to, but I tell you what, though. This is the time. We organize, keep ourselves together, and keep creating shit for our people, man. We gotta create shit for our people, dog.
We gotta create shit for our people. If you got beef with me and I got beef with you, I don't want no more smoke with you. I got time for that, nigga. I know what's going on. Flocka Trent checking in, beating that fucking road as I should, man. Bows and rotation.
I don't know. There's one on Lake Mead Boulevard. That's close to the house that he might have went to. My fault, y'all. Something serious just happened. Check this video out real quick.
I'm going to continue to do that, but I'm tired.
Not this one. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. I got the other one queued up for you real quick. Check this out.
Let me be clear. The same people who want to shame Black America, who say we support murderers, are the same people who supported George Zimmerman when he murdered Trayvon Martin. They the same people. They the same people. The same people who want to shame Black America and say we support murderers and want us to humanize Austin Metcalf are the same people who stood in line to get George Zimmerman's signature on a bag of Skittles. These the same animals. These the same savages. The same people who took images of Trayvon Martin to the shooting range and shot holes in his image. The same savages. The same devils. These the same people who try to shame the Black community for supporting a 17-year-old, for defending himself. These the same people. These people seem to always remember what self-defense looks like when it comes down to a white man murdering a Black teenager. They know what self-defense looks like, and they forget what murder looks like. But when it comes down to a Black teenager defending himself against two white punk bullies, they forget what self-defense looks like and remember what murder looked like. Let me be clear. The same people who want to shame Black America, who say
So I'm about to be done live streaming in just a second, and I'll figure it out, and I'll go run and find out where he at.
Okay, well, let me know.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, my fault, y'all. My dad just went to the hospital for something. I'm not sure about what it is, but we gonna ride this out real quick. I had a couple more videos lined up because the community is definitely talking. I see y'all got it popping over there in the comment section too. My brother right here, he said he wasn't surprised as well. Like, actually, the thing was
Karmelo Anthony situation. Him being found guilty of first-degree murder is the surprise. Even though they had a chance to give him a lesser charge in manslaughter, they didn't go for that. They went for murder.
No shot.
The surprise in this entire situation, even though we knew the world was against him, the prosecution, the judges, the father, all of them was friends. Everything stacked against the young man. We still had hope. You got to have some kind of hope. But the biggest problem with this situation is the system is fair until it's Black people. Now, they did all of this to him, found him guilty of murder. For a young man telling someone, don't put your hands on me, that person, in fact, still was the aggressor, said that he called his bluff, put his hands on him, got his life ended, and y'all blame the young man and charge him with first-degree murder as if he premeditatedly made it his priority to kill him, even though he didn't know he was going to be there. But you can have Rick Child chase down a 14-year-old boy, falsely accused of stealing, over 130 yards, and he's found not guilty. No lesser charges even, provided for them to even take. No manslaughter or nothing, involuntary manslaughter, none of that. Either murder or free. And they let him go free. But turn around and everything that pointed towards a younger kid, and him being scared of a situation, him doing everything right, didn't tamper with anything, didn't run away, went to coaches, told them what happened, was remorseful, and y'all found him guilty of the harshest sentence. or the harshest crime. This is the public outrage for black people. It's because someone could commit the same crime or even worse than a black person, and yet the black person is found guilty while them people walk away. George Zimmerman, he walked away even though he's shown to be an aggressor towards a child that had a right to be in the position, and Trayvon Martin had a right to be there. Found not guilty. Found not guilty. Same situation. If you flip the script and Trayvon Martin was the person that underlied George Zimmerman, he would have been charged with murder. That's the problem in America. That's the problem here. Black people are not given the same fairness. And I know it's a lot of people gonna come in here and say, well, justice was served and all this, and maybe so, whatever. But it's the fact that it's not consistent, and it's definitely not consistent when black people are on trial. Point blank, period. See, let me tell you the thing about this Karmelo Anthony situation.
You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. This boy CJ Jonah do not miss. I'm talking about comparison after comparison. Man.
You want to know the difference between these two? Is this woman stabbed her boyfriend 108 times, only served 100 hours in jail. Well, Karmelo Anthony did what he did, stabbed Austin Metcalf because he had two twins walking up to him, harassing him, and Austin Metcalf assaulted him. And he serving 35 years in prison. This is America. And yes, it has a lot to do with race. Do you want to know the difference between these two? Is this woman stabbed her boyfriend 108 times, only served 100 hours in jail. Well, Karmelo Anthony did what he did, stabbed Austin Metcalf because he had two twins walking up to him, harassing him, and Austin Metcalf assaulted him. And he serving 35 years in prison. This is America. And yes, it has a lot to do with race. Do you want to know the difference between these two? Is this woman stabbed her boyfriend 108 times, only served 100 hours in jail. Well, Karmelo Anthony did what he did, stabbed Austin Metcalf because he had two twins walking up to him, harassing him, and Austin Metcalf assaulted him. And he serving 35 years in prison. This is America. And yes, it has a lot to do with race. Do you want to know the difference between these two?
Hell yeah, it got something to do with race. My boy, Marvin be busting it down too. I love his commentary.
So you mean to tell me out of all those kids under the tent, nobody recorded? In 2026, where everyone lives on their phone, especially kids, teenagers, no one recorded what happened under the tent. And the EP guy who lied already once on the stand said that he had his phone out pretending to record. Who pretends to record a fight that's about to happen? He just out there fucking lying and they letting it go. You can't tell me that not one kid recorded what happened. I think they did record what happened and they deleted it because it would have made Austin look bad. They had like a year or so to gather all their thoughts, make sure none of the evidence was damning. And you can tell because most of them changed their story. First they had the statements they gave the cops. And then now, for the most part, not all of them, but most of them have a totally different story. Especially EP. I fear he didn't get a fair trial. And it was rushed. And all white jurors. Sickening. So you mean to tell...
Sickening. It is. I was saying the same thing that Unc was saying on this modern day lynching. I did want to put that in the title and in the thumbnail, but I chose not to because I knew they wasn't going to spread that one as much as I noticed that they haven't been spreading any of the videos that got Karmelo Anthony in the title.
It is the digital age's version of the lynching postcard. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about when there's a court case involving a black person. And there's always a court case where a cop kills a black person commits a crime and gets an unjust sentence. Karmelo Anthony. A shop owner kills a black boy running, shoots him in the back. You can go week by week for the past 400 years. There's always a court case. And once the masses, most white people, not all, get what they want out of that. So in Karmelo Anthony's case, he was convicted of murder, and about a minute later, they sentenced him to 35 years in prison. So the people that wanted that, mostly white people, but not all, they're not happy. That's not enough. They're not happy. They're not happy because you know why? Because they find a way to find black people online and they taunt and harass us online. I just look at my own post that I made about the case And in the last 48 hours, across all the apps, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Twitter, I got hundreds of comments, all variations of the N-word, my intelligence, likening me to an animal, on and on and on. And I'm not the only one. I visited some other black creators across the apps and look at their comments on their post about that case. The same thing.
Yep.
They find this out because I've said this before, you could put it on repeat. White supremacy is never satisfied, is never satiated. It's not enough. And you could draw a line from lynching postcards, celebrating that, all the way to right now. It's the digital age version of that. That's what it is. It just, we want to celebrate your misery, your discomfort, your anger, your hurt, your pain, whatever it is at the moment. We want to dive in and make it worse, because that's what we are to you. We're like a boil on your consciousness. We want to just make it worse, because white supremacy is never satisfied, it's never satiated, ever. And I don't know, I'm not a doctor of the mind or mental health or those kind of things. I don't know what you call that, but I do know one thing. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. And I'm gonna tell you something else. That sickness has spread outside the United States, because a not so insignificant number of those accounts who are harassing me and other black creators, particularly on Blue Sky and Twitter, are in Europe and Asia. They're in Europe and they're in Asia. They have found glee in celebrating the wrong things about black people and harassing us. And so, just think about that.
Oh, I ain't got to think about it. I experience it every time I go live. They just come in, and be over there on bullshit. I don't know what it does for them, but hey, I appreciate y'all for helping me with this engagement, because y'all help make the point for me with all the dumb shit you say in the comment section. Moving right along. Nobody was fooled about what was going on, was we, bro?
Karmelo Anthony was not given a fair trial at all. He didn't have a single favorable thing that was on his side that whole time. If y'all don't know, I've been following this court case very closely, and I was boots on the ground outside the courthouse after the guilty.
No, he got that stupid music behind there. I heard it. I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. But once I hear that music, I gotta let it go. You know what? I'm not gonna let y'all in the comment section represent all y'all people, because it's actually some people who actually get it.
And unfortunately, the verdict is guilty. Am I shocked? Absolutely not. Am I disappointed? Yes. He who controls the narrative controls the masses. We've seen this story go on for ages. Truth is, that's what we're king of here in the United States. We marginalize and oppress people. We put our foot on their neck, and then we act shocked whenever they fight back. Facts are, Karmelo Anthony, a 17-year-old kid, was at a track meet when inclement weather started. It started raining. His team did not have a tent at the track meet, so he went over to another tent to get out of the rain. He just happened to see somebody that he knew under the tent and went and dapped him up. Visualizing this story now, a young black kid from opposing school that nobody knows probably carries himself in a way that they don't deem normal, and he is met with resistance by white kids with an entitlement and a superiority complex who want to show out for their friends. In fact, the witnesses testified Austin Metcalf was always protecting us and defending us. So obviously he was like the little alpha of their group, and they all rode his coattail. Metcalf beats his chest and says, "Let me show out for these people here. Let me show them how tough and brave I am." And he goes over to Karmelo Anthony and tells him to leave. Karmelo Anthony refuses. "Make me. You move me if you want me to leave. You're not going to sit here and show out in front of all your friends with me. You're not going to try to embarrass and humiliate me. We know this story for young black males in this country." Remember what I said, he who controls the narrative controls the masses. Every one of those witnesses on that stand were not friends of Karmelo Anthony. They were all friends of Austin Metcalf. Another thing that they do that they've always done in this country, paint the black kid as aggressive, loud, arrogant,
I just hit your
inherently criminal, inherently violent. That's how they framed that narrative. Like this Israel and Palestine debate. Israel occupies and marginalizes and oppresses Palestine for decades. Israel has all the friends and all the power and the resources to control the narrative. Palestine gives a little bit of pushback, and all of a sudden now they're the violent, aggressive, jihadist terrorist group within Palestine. Does one attack on October 7th in response to an occupation and a frustration of years of marginalization and oppression, because none of that happens in a vacuum. And then Israel strikes back by basically destroying and wiping out an entire nation. And they talk about proportionality of force. I digress. They paint Karmelo Anthony as the antagonist and the aggressor here, despite the fact that they went at him. They resisted him just getting out of the rain. And then they pushed him and attacked him. Pro Austin Metcalf people here say, why not just leave the tent? Why not just let the kid be? It's raining. Why not be a decent human being with some compassion and empathy and treat somebody who is different than you, that presents or maybe talks differently than you, looks differently than you, with a little bit of kindness? Does it suck that Austin Metcalf lost his life? Abso-fucking-lutely. Does it suck that now another young kid has lost his life and we still are at odds with each other in this nation today? In reality, all it takes is teaching our kids a little bit of compassion and empathy and kindness, and teaching them how to defuse and de-escalate situations. I mean, this case pretty much sums up our country in a nutshell right now. The Karmelo Anthony.
You know what's funny? Y'all don't want to hear them messages. Y'all hate to be told what to do, huh? Your people can't. You can't get checked by your people, especially if they talking some real shit. Y'all hate him. I've seen somebody call him a white dweeb, clown liberal here. What else y'all say about him? Y'all do not like hearing that truth, do you? Not everybody's on some idiotic odyssey, you know. Not everybody. But my brother said he got one question.
So Karmelo Anthony was just sentenced. And I have one question that's really, really bugging me that I really need answers to right now. And I want to know, how long are we going to still continue to believe in that system? How long are we going to continue to sacrifice our lives and our livelihood with believing in the American dream when they continue to show us how they really feel about us, what they really think of us, and how they want to do us, how they're doing us as we speak currently? Just a few weeks ago, the Asian man got off from shooting one of our brothers in the back. And this week, our brother is being sentenced for defending himself when he tried to de-escalate the situation. How long are we going to continue to stay in that environment and beg to be seen as human beings? It's not going to happen. Let's remove ourselves from that environment and get into a place where we can build and create something for ourselves. 6 years ago, when the George Floyd situation happened, I decided to check out of the American environment. Before that, I was one of the people who believed that we can protest, we can fight, we can get into the system and change things, we can become lawyers, we can become judges. But bro, let it go. We have to let that system die. It is written for it to fall. We cannot continue to put our efforts and energy into believing in something that shows us how they value us. That system was built on the blood and the backs of our people being taken advantage of. That is all that system knows. So we need to just let it go. Let it fall. I'm praying to the heavens that the system falls, because that is what needs to happen in order for us to truly get our full liberation, because they're not going to give it to us. They're not going to change their perspective. They're not going to one day wake up and say, oh, you know what? We've been treating these Negroes wrong. Let's do something differently.
We know that ain't going to happen by the comment section.
If it hasn't happened in all this time, listen, let it go. There's no point of us still crying and saying, how much long will we deal with this? We're going to have to deal with it until something changes, until it falls. So this is something that we really need to look at fully. We have to start moving differently, guys. Let's stop crying and complaining and asking to be accepted in a place that we know we are never going to be accepted in. As much as it sucks, as much as we have nice hearts, we don't.
That's why I do the Keep It P podcast, and I wouldn't give a what nobody got to say. If you don't like black empowerment, that's on you, bucko.
Understand why they're doing this. We will never understand, but what we can understand is we have options to remove ourselves from that environment. We don't have to stay there. If we see what's happening, come back home, get back connected to your brothers and sisters on the continent, and keep yourself out of those toxic environments where people are in.
I heard that. Connect with your brothers and sisters on the continent. See, I was with you, bro. Right up until, right up until you tried to slip the Pan-African in there. I was there, but you tripping. But to stomp down people that's watching right now, make sure y'all hit the like, make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't. I get a lot of viewers that just view and interact but don't subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, right? I got 3 channels: J Lava, Keep It P Podcast, and Keep It P Raw. If you really want to support the channel, you'll go over to Keep It P Podcast or Keep It P Raw. I would love the watch time and engagement over on those channels. That would help out at least with the monetization a little bit. My J Lava channel just got back on, but it ain't monetized yet. I appreciate everybody on there, but because they took me off stifling this, that, and the third. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Also, real quick, Sosis, make sure that you comment on a video after the live stream, just like in the regular comments, so I can go to it and I can mod you. Because that's the easiest way to do it from the phone. It's really crazy how it happens, but do that so I can mod you up, sis. And what else I was gonna say? Make sure y'all subscribe to all the channels, because not all the time do I put the content on all 3 channels. Sometimes I put specific things on specific things. So if y'all want to get a more background on my life and the stuff that I do, that's more J Lava. If we keeping it business, like for the people, that's Keep It P Podcast. And when I'm getting super petty, I'm going to Keep It P Raw. So I want y'all to remember that. Also, y'all know that we got that Say It With Your Chest now. You know you can go say it with your chest. We got them t-shirts. The featured one right now is this one. Everybody be asking where they can get it from. You can go to sayitwithyourchest.com. That's right. Sayitwithyourchest.com. Hold on. Let me hook that up for you. I put it right there. Sayitwithyourchest.com. Say it with your moves. Say it with your chest. Wear it if you ain't scared it. I forgot what I said. I gotta go look back at that video because I said something real fly, and I can't even remember what I said. But we also got them cut the check for Foundational Black American in various colors. That's just that reparations green. And then we also got that we coming to Washington to get our checks in various colors too. So make sure you go grab one of them. You dig what I'm saying? But back to the regularly scheduled program. My man, this is what we experiencing here over there. Everybody in the B1, everybody over here. This is why we experiencing what we experiencing with them folks.
A lot of white people are not going to see this as a problem, not simply because Austin is white, but because a lot of white people are naturally intrusive. So
that's why he got that music behind it. They be trying to hide it real low in the background so you can't hear it. I can't do it. But that's what we dealing with right now. They don't got a problem with being intrusive. Hence the reason why, we can have spaces and they come here and they keep. The funny thing is, y'all keep putting the same things over and over in the comment section as if we care about what you got to say, or you're like hurting somebody's feelings or something. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's cool though. It's cool though. We love it. My brother has something to say too, very intelligently. I wanted to give him a chance to bust it down as well.
Karmelo Anthony, 35 years. 35 years. I'm just gonna go in parent mode. This a lose-lose situation for the both of them. I completely understand everybody is emotional right now. Y'all should be. I'm not gonna get on this internet and act like Karmelo Anthony, he's innocent because he did unalive somebody, even though he was defending himself. That's why I say it's a lose-lose situation. Do I think he should have got 35 years? Hell no. That's why I said they could have gave him at least manslaughter. But we not gonna sit on the internet and act like it's not still racist people out here in this world, black and white, that don't want to change.
Hold on, nigga. Hold on, fam. Black people can't be racist at all, my nigga. We can be bigoted. We can be prejudiced. But racism is a mechanism in a system that we don't have the privilege of participating in. So I want to make sure that I correct that. Now, don't fuck up the message, fam.
They ways. They're stuck in their ways. And the justice system just fucked up all over. A lot of people saying this ain't got nothing to do with black and white. And to be honest with y'all, a lot of it do. I'm just being grown about the situation because it's a lot of grown people that acting like kids right now. I don't know the Metcalf twins. I don't know Karmelo Anthony. But if you was paying attention, see, this is what I'm saying. Don't get on the internet talking and you don't even really know what you're talking about. Now, I don't expect you to scour the internet in the manner in which I do to bring all this information. But if you're going to set yourself up here and start talking, make sure you know what you're talking about. Because if you know about the Metcalf twins, you would know them is the most evilest, sinister little twins that there was. That had meth and steroids in their system at the time. Come on now. I had to look into this case. I'll look at both of them like a little brother. Hey, y'all chill out. Y'all doing too much, man. Shake hands and keep going. Because a lot of shit really ain't that damn deep. A lot of things in life you just can walk away from. And this go for both sides. Not just Karmelo, but the Metcalf twins too. One thing my grandma told me before she died, she always told me, Bug, think before you react. That one line right there will take you through life real easy. If you just take a second, take a moment and just think before you just start going crazy and reacting wild. If them twins would have thought about their actions before they went over there and started fucking with Karmelo Anthony, one of them would still be alive. That's just the bottom honest truth. If Karmelo would have thought about his action, he wouldn't never got 35 years. Yes, I understand it's raining. Yes, I understand that he was on a tent that didn't belong to him. But at the end of the day, you got to defuse the situation on both ends. But as a parent, we all can say what we would have did, what we could have did, if this, if that. And what I will say is that Karmelo Anthony was guilty from the start because they already knew and had it planned out. And I keep telling y'all, when it comes to the court system, it ain't about being right or wrong. It's a money grab. Because if you can bribe somebody with some money to get you out of trouble or win on your side, you're going to take the money regardless. Time is hard right now. Then you playing with a bunch of people that's behind this. White people that got money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that whole jury got paid under the table. Do I think Karmelo...
Yeah, they got paid in white currency, just feeling like the glee of sending a black boy to jail, an innocent black boy to jail. They love doing something to the innocent. Yeah, they got paid. They got paid and perceived white supremacy. That's what they got paid in. That's what they got paid in. You know, this is a good example of somebody who flippy floppy wishy washy. I think, and if I did a little digging, Cuz probably married to a white girl, because he riding the fence just a little too hard for me.
Anthony need 35 years? Hell no. Do I think he innocent? Hell no. Do I think he should have got manslaughter? Hell yeah. Because at the end of the day, we all knew that they're going to give him some type of time.
He shouldn't have got nothing. That was clear self-defense. He shouldn't have got nothing, fam. Fuck that. Don't see you tiptoeing. You're tiptoeing and shoe shining, boy. You're tiptoeing and your shoe shining, boy.
We didn't know how much time that he was going to get. And no, I'm not.
No, we didn't know shit. That was your pessimistic goof. I ain't going to say that, but that was your pessimistic ass, brother. I ain't think shit. I thought he should have got off like he should have. Don't try to lessen and minimize.
I own nobody's side. I got my own kids in the house.
Uh-oh. Is your kids mixed? See, hold on. This make me Let me open this up in the new window real quick, and let me just look. Let me see if he got it. What's going on with his family dynamic? Because I'm smelling a Caucasian a Caucasian union, and if I'm not, and if he not, then okay, all right. But I'm just saying, it just kind of like the usual suspects. Hold on, I'm looking at his timeline. Yeah, he got a lot of females on his timeline. I don't really see no white peoples. It's something fishy about Cuz. It's something fishy. It's something fishy. Yeah. Sis had something to say about this 35-year sentence too, which is crazy.
So the trial lasted 8 days, and it took an all-white jury less than 3 hours to convict Karmelo Anthony of murder and sentence him to 35 years in prison. Now, by now, I think you already know how I feel about this. A lot of people got to go to hell here. I did a very unbiased YouTube video about this, but publicly I want to say here, we have got to teach people how to leave other people alone. I'm going to say that, okay? You cannot harass people and then think that there will be absolutely no consequences. And the same way we have to have a conversation with children like Karmelo Anthony, that your actions have consequences, whether they were intentional or not, whether you were defending yourself or not. And then a third part that I want to slap in there is I can't stand that black people can neither defend themselves nor flee from danger or perceived threat. It don't matter what we do.
Straight up.
Y'all pissing me off today. Please go to hell. So the trial.
Please go to hell. I mean, even the young folks out here. Even the young folks out here is on point with this. We ain't got no dumb youth. They drawing these conclusions and asking these questions too. I featured brother on a couple other episodes ago, and he was right on point.
I've been following the Karmelo Anthony case, and based off everything I've seen, I don't believe that young man got a fair shake. Now, before y'all jump in the comments, this is my opinion. Y'all jumped in the comments crazy on my last video talking about race. And if you rewatch that whole video, y'all go rewatch that first video that y'all was mad at. I never said anything about either of the two young men's race. But from the information that I read that's been reported, I still believe it was self-defense. If someone reasonably believes they're in danger, that's supposed to matter. That's why self-defense laws exist in the first place. And I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, well, if I'm scared, I'ma just run away. Yeah, you chose flight. Fight or flight is a real thing. Some people get scared and they fight. And another thing I'm struggling with about that case, how did we get all the way to a first-degree murder conviction when the argument was about self-defense? To me, first-degree murder is one of the most serious charges you can face, and I have questions about whether the facts support that outcome. At minimum, I believe the courtroom should have considered a lesser offense or viewed the incident differently. Try to put yourself in that young man's shoes. These boys was 6'2", 220 pounds. This is a itty-bitty boy, 5'8", 130. But cases like this is why appeals exist, just in case there were legal errors or questions about how the law was applied to the case. Either way, two young men lost their lives, and that's a tragedy all around. But I would like to hear what y'all think. Do y'all think the jury got it right, or does this case deserve a second look? I stand on my first stance. I believe this case deserves a second look. I still wholeheartedly believe it was self-defense.
Exactly. And you're right, young brother. Don't let nobody try to make you feel like you crazy. Everybody see it. Even my boy right here with the ambiguous look in the afro. What you got to say, boy?
Black lives are not worth the same as white lives in the United States in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of public opinion, in the eyes of the people. That is made very clear today with the guilty verdict with the Karmelo Anthony case, especially coming off of the heels of the Rick Chow case where he was found innocent. In both cases, we have the defendant claiming self-defense. We have an adult man who unalived a child after, supposedly stealing from his convenience. Black lives are not worth the same as white lives in the United States in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of public opinion, in the eyes of the people. That is made very clear today with the guilty verdict with the Karmelo Anthony case, especially coming off of the heels of the Rick Chow case where he was found innocent. In both cases, we have the defendant claiming self-defense. We have an adult man who unalived a child after, supposedly stealing from his convenience. Black lives are not worth the same as white lives in the United States in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of public opinion, in the eyes of the people. That is made very clear today with the guilty verdict with the Karmelo Anthony case, especially coming off of the heels of the Rick Chow case where he was found innocent. In both cases, we have the defendant claiming self-defense. We have an adult man who unalived a child after, supposedly stealing from his convenience. Black lives are not worth the same as white lives in the United States in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of public opinion, in the eyes of the people. That is made very clear today with the guilty verdict.
Oh. They need to stop the thuggery. Blacks need to stop the thuggery. Stop the thuggery, you blacks. Is that how you do it, Jesus? Is that what you like? Is that how you do it, Jesus? For this next video up, Jesus? Hey, Jesus. Is that how you do it? You blacks. Is that how you say it too, Jesus? Stop the thuggery, you blacks. You blacks, stop the thuggery. You blacks. That's it. Man, what is wrong with you? This was nothing to do with race or the color of his skin. The dude is a murderer. Oh, if that's what makes you feel good, if that's what make y'all feel good, if that's what make you float your boat, I mean, who am I to say? I mean, it just lets me know what kind of person you is. And it makes sense. All the people that you look up to as a community are murderers and rapists and serial killers, John Wayne Gacy, and y'all get a kick out of them. Y'all get a kick out of that. It's not a surprise that you look up that's what you look up to. I mean, I get it. That's all you see. I feel you. But guess what though? There's some news on the horizon.
Karmelo Anthony's legal defense team has officially filed an appeal of his murder conviction and 35-year sentence in the death of Austin Metcalf. What does this mean? It simply means that there is a higher court that will review the case to determine whether legal errors occurred during the trial.
And there was a bunch of them.
They did. And this is the question that I have here. Did Karmelo receive the strongest defense possible? I don't think so. My personal opinion is that his legal defense team failed him. The jury convicted him. The prosecution secured a 35-year sentence, and now the defense is left trying to clean up the mess that happened in the courtroom. One issue expected to be raised on in the appeal is the defense objection to jury selection, including concerns about the final makeup of the jury, because it was an all-white jury. There was no representation for Karmelo. And wasn't it supposed to be a jury of your peers? Appellate courts will now decide whether legal errors affected the outcome of the trial. And it did. Carmelo's legal team, like I said before, they have a lot of explaining to do because they failed him. When a case carries this much attention, this much emotion, because I am emotionally exhausted today, and this much at stake, every legal strategy coming from that team matters. And they failed. Some supporters are already calling for nationally known civil rights attorneys, including Ben Crump, which I also would like to see jump on this case. But regardless of where we stand on this case, the appeal process is now underway, and the next chapter will be decided not by an all-white jury, but by the courts reviewing what happened during the trial. Karmelo Anthony's
Y'all don't like that, do ya? That don't feel too good, huh? He just gonna have to suffer a little bit longer though. He finna be up out of there because they did it too blatant. They did it too wrong, and they gonna have to pay for that. And my sister has something to say about that.
We all knew that they were going to find him guilty. When has the justice system ever really been on our side? When it comes to black people, the justice system will always fail us. And that's why I keep saying the fight for equality didn't end in 1960. The civil rights movement didn't magically solve everything. If it did, we wouldn't be having this type of conversation and what's going on right now today. We have to start raising leaders and making sure that black voices are represented everywhere that decisions are being made. We all knew that they were going to find him guilty.
I keep telling y'all think y'all coming up with some surprise. We already knew what it was before it happened. You dig what I'm saying? But these brothers do raise a very good question about what's going on.
Why is this case such a strong emotion in the black community, right? I mean, we all agree that this kid stabbed him and ultimately he died from it. Why is this such emotional on Facebook, on Twitter, on all of these social media with our black community?
I look at the fact of when a black kills another black, we don't make an uprising about this. There's no unification on either side. It generated not just in Texas or Arkansas, but all around the United States, from people saying, making statements of racial tension. There were some whites that were said that if he had been found not guilty, that allegedly they were going to start a race riot. Now I would ask, should he have not been convicted of manslaughter? Because he didn't leave the tent and go anywhere. It was a right there moment where this happened at. So now I would ask, okay, could it have not been manslaughter?
Why is this case such a strong emotion in the black community, right? I mean, we all agree that this kid stabbed him and ultimately he died from it. Why is this such emotional on Facebook, on Twitter, on all of these social media with our black community?
I look at the fact of when a black kills another black, we don't make an uprising about this. There's no unification on either side. It generated not just in Texas or Arkansas, but all around the United States, from people saying, making statements of racial tension.
We didn't start that. Well, come on, let's not act like we don't know what it is, though. White people got a problem trying to tell black people what the fuck to do. And they thought they was going to enforce it physically. And he fucked around and found out. That's what we talking about. If Austin would have fucking sat his ass down some motherfucking where and kept his hands to himself, he would be all right. But no, he wanted to play Tommy Toughass and got taught something. And it's unfortunate. But this ain't a video game and you don't get to respond. He learned one time. And unfortunately, my brother Karmelo is caught in a racist system that doesn't see his ability to be afraid or protect himself. Let's say what the truth is. That's what it is. Y'all didn't say that about Kyle Rittenhouse. He wasn't supposed to have a gun at all. That was cool. Come on, man. Y'all can't change the rules, B. Y'all ain't finna change the rules. Nah. My man's, nah, you ain't changing that. It is what it is. Two tears in the bucket. Niggas die every day, B. Y'all over here crying and shit. Niggas die every day, B. If he would have minded his damn beeswax, but see, nobody wants to address the cause and effects. Minding your business will keep you alive. You do know that, right? Minding your business will keep you in this realm. Unfortunately, curiosity killed that cat. It wasn't a weapon, fam. It was to fix cleats, dude. Shut up. He was the captain of the football team and the track team, and he wasn't the one that was suspended, sir. So he had more reason to be there than the Metcalf twins, okay? Let's talk about facts. So stop it. So stop it, guys. Hold on. Let me know. Hold on. OG said,
let me say something.
Oh no, that's an old video because that didn't happen, OG. Sorry, I was gonna give you a shine. I didn't even look at the caption. I ain't look at the caption, OG. And the sentence already happened, OG. You gotta make a new video. You gotta make a new video, OG. I think girl right here is a lawyer. She has something very intelligent. It was Tamani Adams. I think she's like a lawyer. I don't know. She looks very
guilty.
She looks like,
and I am already getting requests for a comment, and this is the only thing I'm going to say. I knew he was going to be found guilty on yesterday. His defense was less than 1 day. I knew he was going to be found guilty then.
Yeah, I think she is a lawyer.
I knew he was going to be found guilty when his defense asked for the lesser included charge of manslaughter. I knew it then. I also knew that he was going to be found guilty because they didn't use a jury consultant. Jury consultants are very, very, very important in cases like this. I knew he was going to be found guilty because he had no experts. I also knew he was going to be found guilty because he did not have a diverse legal team. It was a tough case. It's been a tough case like for the community, which I totally get. It's going to be even tougher for sentencing. I fully expect a sentence of at least 40 years. I could see a sentence of 50 years or a sentence of life.
Damn, was she on point or not? Facts over feelings. Like, she knew what she would. Did she call it or did she call it?
Pretty close to that. I think the entire situation is unfortunate. This is his first time ever being in trouble, so of course he doesn't know what to do or what not to do. But there were definitely some shortcomings and decisions that were made in regard to his defense. I hope that he gets a new trial at some point and he's able to hire experts and consultants and a diverse legal team.
Man, I'm telling y'all, black people ain't stupid, man. Everybody's drawing the same conclusions. But did y'all know Cardi B had something to say? Out of all people, it's been reported. I didn't know this one. We've discovered this video together, y'all.
Weighing in on the Texas jury that found Karmelo Anthony guilty of Austin Metcalf, saying what happened in the courtroom was straight up disgusting. Cardi took to X on Tuesday night, hours after the verdict came in, expressing shock over the outcome, saying, "Wow, just freaking wow, disgusting. This is not justice. This is trying to make an example." While Cardi...
What? Oh, I'm looking at all the rappers and celebrities. I'm looking at them all sideways. I ain't heard nothing from nobody, and y'all telling me Cardi B? Shout out to Cardi B, man. Shout out to Cardi B. She's probably one of the most commercialist persons. You know what I'm saying? That you know, it ain't like she I don't expect her to be Malcolm Extras, right, with the talk, but at this point, with the example from anybody else, ain't nobody else said nothing. Nobody said nothing. Wow. That's crazy. All right, what else?
never mentioned Karmelo by name, she retweeted other posts supporting the teenage convict. As we reported, a jury found Karmelo guilty of Austin at a 20-25 years in prison, sentencing, mouthing, "I'm in isolation." Looks like Cardi...
Man, nah, don't tell me it was Cardi B, the only one that had something to say. That's crazy to me, B. But this is kind of to go to some of you guys. You said America has the right to be angry. Black America has the right to be angry. Tell them why, brother.
I said Black America has the right to be angry about the Karmelo Anthony verdict. Yeah. A white man left a comment and said, "Do these people never think a black man is guilty of their crime? Or is it that they think blacks are entitled to not be convicted of their crimes? Which is it?" It's neither, white man. Black people just understand that the criminal justice system is racist. In 1 week, a 61-year-old Asian man named Rick Chow got away with killing a 14-year-old black boy. Cyrus Carmack Belton was his name. He was running away. He posed no threat to him. Rick Chow shot him in the back, killed him, and then claimed self-defense. Self-defense for killing a teenage black boy who was running away from him. A South Carolina jury finds him not guilty of murder. That happens, and then the next week, Karmelo Anthony is on trial for murdering Austin Metcalf, who was aggressive with Karmelo Anthony under a tent at a track meet. He pushed Karmelo, and then Karmelo stabbed him in response. He tragically lost his life. It really is a sad situation. Karmelo Anthony claims self-defense, and a Texas jury finds him guilty of murder. They sentenced him to 35 years in prison. He got more time than Derek Chauvin got for killing George Floyd. He got more time than those cops got for killing Breonna Taylor. So it looks like the justice system is racist. He shouldn't have got 35 years for that. Austin Metcalf didn't have to put his hands on him. As soon as Karmelo Anthony said, "Touch me and see what happened," Austin could have left and reported him to an adult without touching him. I guarantee the altercation would have never gotten deadly if Austin didn't touch him. Karmelo Anthony had a better case for self-defense than Rick Chow did. What threat did Cyrus Carmack Belton pose to Rick Chow? The jury said killing him, a 14-year-old black boy who was running away from him, is not murder. This is the bullshit that Black America sees. And it's so clearly bullshit. So black people being pissed off don't surprise me at all. The justice system is clearly the worst to us. I said Black America has the right to be angry about the Karmelo Anthony verdict. A white man left.
Straight fired, straight to the point. No filibusters, no feelings. No, none of that. I love that message. Damn, I damn near want to play that again. One more time. But he did say something that that I did catch. He said that Karmelo Anthony got more time than police officers that unalive somebody, right? That's what he said. You know what? I think I can back that one up. I think I got the video to back that one up. Hold on real quick, y'all, because, as I do my scouring, I save certain videos. You see what I'm saying? I save certain stuff here and there so that I can refer back to it. And I did save a video on just that. I swear I did. Hold on real quick. Give me a couple seconds, y'all. Give me just a few seconds. Because I'm trying to go through my mental Rolodex real quick here. And we got a little method on how we save and share videos amongst each other. And I swear for everything, y'all, that I had grabbed that video that talks about exactly what he just said. Now, how far up is it? I don't know. Jeez Louise, my bad, y'all. I thought I had this little one for you. I had the zinger. I had the zinger dinger doodly berry for you. But I guess I do not. All right. Okay, that's cool. Let me keep the party rolling. My bad for the stoppage. Y'all over there going in. I see somebody writing whole paragraphs. Except that 14-year-old boy did have a 9mm with a taser sight on it. He was not unarmed and he was running past Child's son, which is why Child was able to open fire and claim self-defense. Oh man. We got intelligent people in the comment section. I'm sure that they'll get you for your misspeakings. I don't have time for that. I'm trying to run the program here. Anyway, moving right along. Hold on. Yeah. She'd be very passionate when she talk. Gigi. Let me let Gigi speak real quick.
And I saw somebody in the comments say, and I wrote this down because I needed to remember it. Let's compare this to the Rick Child case. Rick Child, South Carolina convenience store owner, shot a 14-year-old black boy in the back, killed him over a bottle of water. And what happened? What happened to Rick? Not guilty. Self-defense. Stand your ground. A grown man killed a child over a water bottle, and he walks free. And they're telling Karmelo, a 17-year-old boy who is being manhandled, who was grabbed and punched, who asked the police if what he did was self-defense. They telling him he is facing 5 to 99 years.
She be so dramatic with it. But rightfully so, though. I like to see her follow-up video because I know it's even more dramatic. But like I kept saying, and it looks like I lost some people because I told the truth. But this is what we're talking about, though. This is exactly what we're talking about. Tell them, sis.
And let me just say one more thing about this Karmelo Anthony situation. This behavior of policing black folks starts very young, right? Oh, he was asked to leave. He should have left. He was asked to leave. That boy ain't had no authority to tell nobody to leave nowhere. If they really wanted him to leave, they could have grabbed an adult. They could have grabbed a coach. They could have called security. What was that, right? I never forget a couple of years ago, I was waiting for the 65 down on 4th Avenue, and they got a little ledge where you could sit down, so it was hot. So I sat down, and I waited for the bus. And this lady come up to me talking about, can I ask why you're sitting here? And I'm just like,
oh my gosh, she got them little Boys in the Hood horns in the background, and I just noticed it, man. Oh my gosh, I hate that. It'd be so it'd be so in the background, and you know it's the worst. I hate the music in the back. Anyway, hold on real quick. Let me get something else because she was killed. She was getting it too. She was getting to it. Oh man. Oh, yeah, actually, hold on. I got my TikTok joint. I had the TikTok joint set up. I think I think this is a lawyer too, because her she said I am legally hype, and so she's. I think this was
So one question
the other lawyer perspective that I had.
I'm seeing consistently in my comment section is whether Karmelo Anthony can appeal the verdict. I would wager that by now, or if not extremely soon, Karmelo Anthony's attorneys have likely filed either a motion for a new trial or a notice of appeal. And I believe you have about 30 days after the verdict has been entered to file those documents. And what that does is put the court on notice like, yeah, we don't really like how you handled the trial and how things turned out in the trial. We need somebody to take a second look at this. Now, to set an expectation, post-conviction is much different from the actual trial. The reason why I say that is because the Court of Appeal is not going to relitigate the case. So some of the things that we as outsiders and lay people may think are relevant to bring up on appeal may not be eligible or relevant for the Court of Appeals because, to keep it simple, they don't look at evidence. Right. So the Court of Appeals whole thing is we're not really in the business of just overturning convictions. Right. And we're not going to relitigate this case. That's not our business. That's not what we do. You have the option to go through motions. Right. You had the option to meet and confer. You did discovery. You had a whole trial. You chose your jury and agreed to the jury that you had. So it's not our problem that you don't agree with the decision that the jury made based on the information that they had at the time of the trial. But what we will look at is if during that trial, somebody violated your constitutional rights. Yeah, if we look at the four corners of that trial, what happened in trial, and we find that procedurally something was off, somebody didn't follow the rules properly, right? Or maybe some new information comes up that wasn't available at the time of trial, that but for that information, the outcome of your case would be different. We'll take a look at that all day for sure, but we not finna relitigate this case, okay? I also want to set the expectation that appeals are timely, they are expensive, and they are tedious. Lastly, at this time, it's unclear which issues will be eligible for appeal because we didn't have actual access to the trial while it was happening because there were no cameras allowed in the courtroom. And then also there was this major gag order before the trial even started. So we don't know what motions were filed and what evidence was excluded before trial. We also don't know what objections were raised at trial. And that's a very key issue because in order to bring up an issue on appeal, it gets reserved and eligible to be brought up for an appeal by objecting to it on the record during the trial. So for example, you get a client or you get, a witness gets up there and they do some hearsay stuff, right? If the lawyer doesn't object and say objection hearsay, whether it is sustained or overruled, then the issue may not be eligible to be brought up on appeal. Let me know if you have.
That was a very interesting take from a very cute, educated sister. I love it. I love it when they cute, educated be spitting that. Boy, she was rapid fire with that thing, wasn't she? I'm telling you. I'm talking what's your practice, girl? But my man Sam, though, got some breaking news for y'all. It's not looking so good on that point.
Secret Service Sam here with a huge update on the Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf trial. Morris Dwayne Turner is the man in the video who says he saw the actual video.
Baby, it's getting deep. You see that guy, Secret Service Sam? He had a meeting with the guy, Dwayne Turner, who was on all platforms saying that he's seen a clear video of Karmelo getting assaulted and jumped by 4 different people, and everybody kept saying he's an SA, he's an offender. They was trying to discredit him for what he seen. Well, baby, he came back with smoking bullets and provided proof that he indeed did see a video, and here's the proof. And let me also add, it was allegedly stated that the DA, the judge, and the Metcalf family are close-knit friends and attended dinner parties and things like that together.
The judge was not messing around when he said he wanted this trial wrapped up quickly. Because yesterday, on a Saturday, they had court.
And who has court on Saturdays? Baby, like old girl said, he was trying to wrap this thing up and wrap it up fast so other things wouldn't come out. But we the people are in tune with what is going on. So what do y'all think about the receipts that Mr. Turner has provided showing proof that he actually indeed did see a different angle and seen a clear version of the altercation that took place? This is a sad situation for both sides, and we the people have the right to know what is really going on. Share your thoughts in the comments.
You feel what I'm saying? We knew it was dirty from the beginning. But I had this brother that was a school leader. He work around kids, and he gonna give y'all an aspect of this fake authority that y'all think y'all have when it's time to do something. At least I hope that's where he going. I'm gonna have to listen closely because I wasn't necessarily sure, but I was really interested in what he had to say as a school leader perspective.
I want to jump into the conversation about Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony as someone who is a former school leader and district leader that was specifically responsible for discipline and high-level incidents, especially incidents involving weapons, because I see a lot of people spreading misinformation and using language incorrectly, and I think that that's dangerous. The first thing I want to say is that there's no such thing as illegal at a school. It's either illegal or it's not. And that distinction is important because it is going to determine the next steps that a school leader can make. Because if something is illegal, schools are not able to do any sort of criminal investigation. The police have to be contacted. If something is going against the school policy, which maybe bringing a weapon does and probably does, then the school has the right to determine what the next steps are. Now, they can reach out to the police, but the police are not supposed to do any investigating. They should turn it back over to the school and tell them that they have to make a decision about next steps. Now, in this specific instance, we heard during the trial that the weapon that Karmelo Anthony had was not illegal. It might have gone against school policy, but it was not illegal. Now, if it goes against school policy, this is what should happen. The school should review their policy guide and determine what next steps should be taken, whether it's suspension, expulsion, whatever. Now, I will say that if you look at most schools' policy guides, it says that the consequence can be up to, but not limited to, and then there's a consequence, especially when it comes to weapons. And that's also important. The language is not definite because it needs to leave room for a school or a district to get an entire picture of the incident before they make a decision about the consequence. Now, I will say we've seen in the past and currently that sometimes negatively impacts Black and brown children in the school systems. But in an instance where a school would call me and tell me that there was a weapon, I would ask several questions. Number one is everybody safe? That's most important. Also, in any serious situation, I will always ask the school leader, where was the staff that was responsible for supervising the kids? And I ask that question on purpose, and we'll circle back to that at the end. And then I would ask why the child felt the need to bring the weapon to school. And that would be coupled with the questions of, has there ever been any bullying? Which a lot of times schools don't even know when bullying is happening. So they'll probably say no. And or was there a need for that child to fear for their safety? Because that's going to inform our decision. Now, something important to also note is that there were no staff who were terminated after this instance, which is a question mark for me. The reason I always ask about a staff presence is because most incidents in schools are preventable if somebody is supervising kids, because kids don't supervise themselves. And even at a track meet, you need to understand that these people are getting paid additional money to be coaches and watch kids. So the fact that nobody was held accountable is a huge question mark for me. I want to jump into the conversation.
That's a point. That's a good point. But when nobody needed to watch nobody if they would have just kept them hands to themselves. I knew Gigi had a nice response, so I had to go back and give Gigi her. I got to give her second chance since I hear what she said after the verdict came in.
When they said all white jury, did y'all hear Karmelo Anthony? They have the verdict. Murder. Yeah. So now they're going to go back. They're going to figure out if they want to give him life. But it was set up from the start. And we need all hands and all decks on standby. But our community, the black community, y'all steady out here twerking, arguing about wigs and gays and all that crap. Pay attention, because you going to be next, okay? So, honey, it's a sad day out here. You guys know the defense, they didn't even have a defense. You know, his side didn't even argue. They didn't even allow him to get on the stand to say anything. Man, this was railroaded. And even though they done doctored a lot of pictures, because Karmelo, he had a black eye, but the doctor, he didn't edit that out, smoothed out, that exposed that. They exposed the fact that he was jumped. He was under a tent. I don't give a damn about he was under another school's tent. Y'all all are Christians. Y'all all raised up by Christians. If it was Jesus' tent, Jesus wouldn't throw him out because it was raining. I thought y'all supposed to be Christian-like. What would Jesus do? Clearly, y'all not Christian-like. You're more like Satan-like. For you to want to jump on that boy, fight that boy, because he was under a tent protecting himself from the rain and stuff, you got to be sick. And then they said the same guy that got taken out by Anthony because he was defending himself, they was jumping him and hitting on him, and he pulled out something. It wasn't a knife, but it was something. And he stabbed. He didn't mean to stab the person. It wasn't intentional. He was protecting himself because they was getting in the ass. Okay? And people say, well, a hit for a hit. Ain't no fucking hit for a hit. When somebody about to go into your house and they break into your house, you want to pow them. That's what y'all do. Somebody get in your driveway, you shoot them. Somebody break in your house, you shoot them. And the laws are okay with that. You cannot help how somebody gonna react when they trying to save their life. Hell, hands, and he's a big football player. That shit hurts, okay? Physically hurt. How about keep your hands to yourself? What about teach your kids the ways of God? What would Jesus do? Jesus wouldn't go and provoke somebody and just start beating them up. No. Why y'all didn't pray for the man? Why y'all didn't pray for Karmelo Anthony? Y'all should have hold hands. Let's pray. Include him in the prayer. You know what I'm saying? But no, because they said that same guy that did that to Anthony, he was on the internet talking about some monkeys. I wish a monkey would come up to the track meet because he see black people as monkeys, as animals. A lot of them do. You know, black people was not seen as humans. They have to fight to see as humans. And a lot of people still don't see us as fucking humans. They see us motherfucking monkeys and apes and chimps and shit. Okay? So, honey, comment. I want to know y'all thoughts. I just wanted to let y'all know what was going on so y'all can be prepared. It is murder. They got him for murder, y'all. Ain't it a sad day on this? I knew
Gigi was going to come with the heat, though. I knew Gigi was going to come with the heat. And this one is kind of for y'all in the comment sections, too.
It's crazy how these savages try to justify George Zimmerman killing Trayvon Martin because Trayvon Martin was whooping his ass, right? They say, oh, he was banging his head on the ground. But George Zimmerman was never supposed to approach Trayvon Martin. He was told not to, but he went over there anyway. He initiated contact, was getting his ass whooped, and then he murdered him. Now, Karmelo Anthony case, what was they screaming? He shouldn't have never been under the tent. He shouldn't have never been under the tent. That doesn't apply to George Zimmerman, right? The privilege. The police told him, don't go over there. 911 told him, don't go approach him. The privilege. He went anyway, got his ass kicked, and had to kill the young man. Karmelo Anthony, oh, he shouldn't have been in the tent. Austin Metcalf went over there. Hunter Metcalf went over there, initiated contact, verbally and physically, got his ass killed, and now they screaming, it's murder. Y'all see what I'm saying? A bunch of savages. It's crazy how these savages try to justify George Zimmerman killing Trayvon Martin because Trayvon Martin was whooping his ass, right? They say, oh, he was banging his
because he was whipping his ass. Y'all don't forget about Unc, man. Old school. I love to hear old school talk about it, man. Let's call a spade a spade.
Royal Rise the world. I'm tapped in no matter what. It's your boy Royal Cloth, man. Here to give you a piece of my mind. Hey, check this out, man. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade, man. Hey, don't act like we ain't living in this racist ass America, man. Don't act like this country wasn't founded on racism, genocide, murder, systematic oppression. The list goes on. Don't act like we live in this fairy tale ass world, a true democracy. Nah, man. The truth is, America is as racist today as it was when it was first founded. And those same principles by which it was founded on, it stands on to this day. It is very evident in that it's woven into the fabric of the system. It's very evident, man. Call a spade a spade.
I like that, man. You know, but maybe people don't articulate things how you think they should be said, but everybody has a right to be heard, especially when you're talking some real shit. Got to get some of that feminine energy up in here real quick because she has some things to say as well.
Black people, I understand your frustration. When you look at individuals like Rick Chow and George Zimmerman and Kyle Rittenhouse, all these individuals get off on self-defense claims. But please understand, you cannot bring that hurt into every courtroom. Karmelo Anthony walking out that courtroom would not have brought back those victims. It would have just been an injustice to the Austin family who had to bury their child. And let's be clear, while it is quite common for young boys to carry pocket knives in the South, it was still not a place he should have had one. And he was not in imminent danger. And he went to where the victim was. Based on those facts alone, I knew he was going to do some time. But I did feel it should have been manslaughter.
You didn't go to where. What are you talking about, sis? I was with you for a second. I mean, I even got compassion for my son dying. You know, I couldn't imagine my son getting killed at some shit happening at school. See, that's the difference between me and probably some of the people in my comment section. Yeah, Austin, it's messed up. He should have died. But what he should have did was kept his goddamn hands to his face. That's what he should have did. But yeah, it's messed up. You know what I'm saying? You never know how being tough gonna get you one time, and that's unfortunate that he found out. But I'm not gonna sit here and let her talk about this false equivalency like he went to where he was going to just because your eyebrows are honey. You need to get up out of here with that. Oh no, we ain't doing none of that. Tripping. Let's get some of that masculine energy in here from some of my brothers. What you got to say, brother?
It's so sad that Karmelo Anthony, a young black teenager, is about to lose his freedom to an unfair, biased justice system.
Right.
I say unfair and biased because never in history you see whites, Chinese, any race other than the blacks face an all-black jury. But you see numerous of blacks throughout the history of the justice system face an all-white jury, which makes it biased. Now, I've been to trial before, and I seen the deck stacked against me in real time, so I know how it goes. It ain't like what you see on TV shows and movies. Trial be staged. Everybody know what's finna be said and going on except for you. And I ain't passing no judgment on nobody. I'm just telling you how the system is rigged up and stacked up against black people. Y'all stay blessed. Good morning, everybody.
You know, there's a lot of thought. There's a lot of opinion. There's a lot of things that people got to say. My man's, you know, He got the fresh fade. He got the chain on. You know what I'm saying? And with the house coat. He said everybody has been messaging me about what I thought about the Karmelo trial because of my past active activity work. And then he go into a bunch of stuff. So let me hear what he got to say. I'm gonna see what he got to say.
What would I have done in the Karmelo, or what do I think about the Karmelo case? Now I got two black sons, same age, that damn near Karmelo. He's 17 and he's 16 when this happened. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. First of all, I would have had a Lee Merritt or a Crump with the lawyer that was there with him. I would have not left him by himself as a father. He had the money raised. I would have did that. That's his child. He should have did that. When they had an all-white jury, that would have shut the shit down right then. They allowed that man, the lawyer that was working for them, to have an all-white jury because they get to say they don't want that like that. The lawyer should have did something. The lawyer wasn't on their side. Period. There's no way you move to Collin County and you stand in a nice house, you got nice cars, and you ain't got no goddamn money for no lawyers like that. I'm saying this to say this. White people, my friends, my white Caucasian friends, my white brothers, imagine if your child was defending himself from 2 to 4 people and he had it wasn't a knife, it wasn't none of that. It was a multi-tool that you use. It had a little knife in it. It had the screwdrivers and little tools in it. That's what he stabbed the boy with. So imagine your white Caucasian son stabbing a black guy. 4 big black guys, 1 black guy they run anyway, but 2 to 4 black guys finna jump your son and he stabbed him with a tool. Are you gonna allow the court to have an all-black jury? Hell no. I blame that on the parents for allowing that lawyer to do that. For one, because my kids would never. I've had racism done in the last week 2 times, but I got lawyers and shit. Everybody who know me, no, I'm not talking. I'm having my lawyers talk, you know. But don't move to Collin County if you ain't got no bread, because you will get, there will be a lot of racism, and there will be a lot of hate that you even in the community because you got a little money. So don't move out to some motherfucker.
But that's fucked up though. Why is it like that? Why is it like that though? That's the thing. Like, why you just can't live your life and just live your life? Why you gotta have bread to expect the racism that's coming? Like, what is that about? That sucks.
Fuck, unless you got some lawyers in your back pocket. I've had to use my lawyers twice, but I don't have to talk. You know what I'm saying? I ain't none of that. I don't talk to nobody. Talk to my lawyer. That's all you gotta do. Do what they do. Talk to my motherfucking lawyer. I don't talk. You know? So that's what I would have done differently. My kids would never be going through that. If my kids stab somebody for self-defense, they damn sure finna get off. And if Karmelo would have been in Dallas, if he would have been in Fort Worth, this shit wouldn't even be happening right now. He would have been off. We in Collin County, man. Well, they in Collin County. I'm right next to it, but yeah, that's what the fuck I think, you know.
Yeah, I feel real mixed. I get what he's saying and all. I don't, that's kind of almost along the lines of, I got resources, so I'm straight, so I don't care about what happened. I don't know about that one. But I did find I never heard from the parents after the trial, so I did hear that. So I want to hear that real quick before we get up out of here.
So do you believe your son received a fair trial?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And we're going to keep fighting.
Mm-hmm.
We will not stop fighting for justice for my son.
And as parents, have you all struggled with guilt, asking yourselves, is there anything differently? I know, Kayla, you said you wish you had gone to that track meet. Is there anything that you both wish you could have done differently?
I wish I would have just been rebellious. I was told, don't talk to this person. Don't talk to this person. I feel like it was just a setup. Now, so they told us, go get white attorneys. Every black person I went to a white attorney. No white attorney, they set them up. pushed him. Hey, here you go. I mean, no objections. It was things were smooth. So because as a father of me being who I am, I got to make sure she's straight. This mama bear, I got to make sure she's straight mentally, because if she's not straight, my house ain't straight. I'm not straight. Then so because I got the kids to worry about. Got to make sure his mental health. I can't go back and forth with him right in there because his mental can handle it. The misunderstanding of what dad is trying to tell you. This ain't a daddy moment.
So do you believe your son received a fair trial?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And we're going to keep fighting. We will not stop fighting for justice for my son.
Straight up. Woo! That's that is that's pretty deep, man. You know, I couldn't imagine losing my shorty to some shit. I don't know, man. It's all, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. Um, damn, you know, just kind of listening. But whew. Oh, Roland Martin had something to say?
A Texas track meet
Hold on, Roland Martin had
in
something
spring
to
of
say, y'all.
2025. Find out
Would ask for people.
what has to say.
First and foremost, the one thing that I would ask for people to do at this moment is pray for the Anthony family, because they have been legally lynched for the last year, and more so by this slaughterhouse of a courthouse, as well as the family of the Metcalfs. So the energy right now is very white supremacy. They have shown up to be the pigs that they display with hate. They are celebrating the loss of life and the loss of freedom. So that's the energy.
That's the energy, and that's the stupid. Did I say Dallas attorney?
Yeah, I already knew. I knew where he was going with that. I just want to hear what Roland Martin had to say, man. We're gonna go ahead and close it out, man, because it is what it is. Nobody was surprised. Obviously, we know. Hold on, let me pop back on up in here. Obviously, no, my little light done went out, but obviously we know that they're gonna file an appeal. There was a lot of inconsistencies in the trial, so hopefully going to a higher court will bring a better outcome. But I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a moja, foja, and scoja about being on code, and you know I got 4 words for you. I need you to go ahead and subscribe for the vibes, like for the spike, comment your vomit, share if you care about getting Black empowerment everywhere. Please do that on the platforms that we are on. Jones, which is all of them there. I know y'all can't see them on up and down, but we on all the platforms. If y'all want to connect me with me, go to the Keep It P podcast channel group on Facebook. You can tap in with me there on some DM shit or whatever. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe to all the other channels. If y'all want them t-shirts, go to the Keep It P podcast channel and go to the store. The t-shirts is right there in the store, right on YouTube. And I make it easy for you. Link is in the description too. I always put the link in the descriptions. Go check out the Foundational Foolery album. You know what I'm saying? With all your Foundational Foolery hits. Make sure you grab the on code, the definitive guide to being on code. Link in the description of that. Go sign the petition to make anti-Black racism a public health crisis. And that's it for me. I'm out the door. Love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm out the